Welcome to Create the Best Me. I am Carmen Hecox, a personal development coach, and I am so excited to be connecting with you today. Whether you're listening to the podcast or joining us on YouTube, my goal is to help women navigate through midlife challenges with compassion, inspiration, and empowering conversation. Each week, we'll dive into thought-provoking topics designed to build self-confidence, overcome invisible woman syndrome, and find the courage to create the best version of yourself. I'll also be joined by expert guests who will share their wisdom and insights. So make yourself comfortable and let's embark on this journey together.
Well, hello there, fearless midlife trailblazers. Welcome to Create the Best Me. If you are new here, I'm so glad you made it here. If you're a returning viewer or listener, welcome back to the one and only place where we encourage and empower women in midlife to pursue their dreams and live life to the fullest. I am Carmen Hecox, your host and personal development coach. Today's topic is not only dear to my heart, but essential for all of us ladies navigating the wonderful world of midlife. We're talking about self-care, but not just any self-care. We're addressing self-care for us women in our prime years who are still striving to create the best version of ourselves. So why is self-care so essential? And more importantly, how can you create a self-care routine that resonates with you? I hear you, ladies, and I got you covered. Today's show is divided into 5 power pack sections. We'll start with the need and the significance of self-care during midlife. Next, we'll journey into the physiological transformations our bodies undergo. In the third section, we'll peel back the layers of emotional and physiological elements, followed by some practical, no-nonsense steps you can begin implementing right now for your self-care in section 4. Lastly, we'll wrap up with inspirational success stories of some incredible women who are embracing self-care and seeing life-changing results. And hey, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click it so you don't miss out on any great content we're putting together for you. So let's dive straight in, shall we? Let's start off by talking about understanding the essence of self-care and why it's such a game changer for us women navigating midlife. When I say self-care, what comes to mind? Is it a day at the spa, a good book, a yoga session, or perhaps a much-needed vacation? While all these things certainly fall into the self-care category, what we're focusing on today goes much deeper. Self-care, ladies, is about nurturing our bodies, mind, and spirit. It's about prioritizing our health and happiness, especially now in midlife when so many of us find ourselves sandwiched between caring for our growing children and aging parents. It's during this phase that we often forget ourselves. Our needs take the back seat as we juggle multiple roles: mother, wife, caregiver, career woman. But it's during this phase that self-care becomes an absolute essential. Why, you ask? Because self-care is not an act of indulgence, but an act of self-preservation. It's an investment in our lives, an investment that enables us to continue giving the best of ourselves to our loved ones, our jobs, our passion. It's about replenishing ourselves to continue creating the best version of ourselves. Now, an effective self-care routine isn't a one-size-fits-all. It varies for each of us, especially when we take into account the physiological changes our bodies undergo in midlife, which brings us to the next section. Physiological changes during midlife. It might sound like a loaded phrase, but don't worry. We're about to demystify it all. So let's dive in. Our bodies in midlife are like a cup of tea. an amazing blend of experience, wisdom, and yes, a few extra herbs we weren't expecting. Menopause is often the headliner here, ushering in change that can sometimes feel overwhelming. You might notice your body reacting differently, maybe a bit of weight gain, changes in your skin, hair, even hot flashes that make you feel like you're in the middle of a personal summer, or perhaps experiencing shifts in sleep patterns or finding a bit harder to keep up with your regular exercise routine. All of these are normal physiological changes. It's essential to remember that these changes are not punishments, nor are they problems to be fixed. They're merely your body transitioning into a new phase. Understanding these changes is the first step toward embracing them and learning how to support your body through them. This is where a tailored self care plan comes into play, empowering you to navigate these changes with grace, strength, and yes, even a little bit of sass. As we understand our bodies better, we also need to pay attention to our emotional well being because, let's be honest, these physical changes are bound to stir up some feelings, right? And this takes us into the next section, ladies, the emotional and physiological aspect of self care during midlife. If I told you that the physical changes were the whole picture, I'd be doing you a disservice. We're much more complex than that, aren't we? Let's dive into the emotional and physiological sides of things, the part that often gets brushed under the rug. While our bodies are in this roller coaster ride, our minds are taking a journey of their own. With so many changes, it's perfectly normal to feel a roller coaster of emotions. One day, you might feel like you're on top of the world. The next day, you're questioning your purpose and worth. Let's acknowledge something. Midlife can sometimes feel like a strange no man's land, sandwiched between the vibrant energy of youth and the calm wisdom of old age. But let's shift that perspective, shall we? Midlife is a time of self discovery, an opportunity for reinvention, and a chance to truly get to know ourselves. I always advocate journaling as a starting point. Write about your feelings, your fears, your dreams, your aspiration. It all matters. It's a powerful tool to understand our mental landscape, and it's never too late to start a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness meditation, or just a few moments of quiet introspect every day, can work wonders to center our emotions and calm our minds. Remember, it's not about avoiding negative feelings, but acknowledging them and giving ourselves permission to experience them without judgment. That's the essence of emotional self care. And so, having understood our bodies and our minds a bit better, let's move on to the next actionable part of our discussion, because knowing is only half of the battle, right? The next step is about taking that knowledge and turning it into action. Let's move on to section 4, where we'll talk about practical steps you can begin implementing right now for self care. Welcome to the heart of today's topic, ladies. Let's dive into the nitty gritty of creating a self care routine that aligns with your unique needs and lifestyle. Step 1 is about physical health. So let's move more. Whether you love Zumba, walking in nature, or practicing yoga, make time to get your body moving every day. Exercise not only helps manage weight and hormones, but it's also fantastic for mental health. Next, let's talk about nutrition. Feed your bodies with the love it deserves. Lean protein, fruits, vegetables, and plenty of water are your best friends. Remember, ladies, we are what we eat. Let's nourish our bodies from within. Third, prioritize sleep. A good night's sleep can do wonders. Invest in creating a serenity sleep environment and follow a regular sleep schedule. Your body and your mind will thank you. Next, make regular health checkups as part of your routine. Keeping track of your health matrix helps us catch potential issues early and provides a baseline to measure our progress. And finally, pursue your passion. What is it that makes your soul sing? Painting, gardening, writing, dancing. Dedicate time to your interests. This isn't about passing time, but about creating joy and fulfillment. These are just the starting points, ladies. Remember, the key is to find what works for you and make it part of your routine, no matter how small. And consistency, not perfection, is what we're aiming for. Now it's time for some real inspiration. Let's meet some extraordinary women who embrace self-care and are reaping the benefits. Shall we? Let's dive into section 5, our success stories. Welcome to the final part of our show, the success stories. It's time to shine the spotlight on some amazing women who have successfully incorporated self-care into their lives and are living their best lives. Look at these inspirational women. Each one of them has their unique story, her unique journey. They come from different walks of life, but have one thing in common. They made self-care a priority. Meet Lisa, a mother of 3 who found yoga to be her solace during midlife changes. Just 15 minutes of yoga every day has transformed her life, enhancing her flexibility and calming her mind. Then there's Susan, who rediscovered her love for painting. She's now not only creating beautiful art, but also experiences the therapeutic effects from indulging in her passion. These women are not outliers, my friends. They are everyday women like you and me who embrace self-care and are reaping the benefits. And remember, self-care is not a destination, but a journey, a commitment to living a healthier, happier life. We've had quite a journey today, haven't we? Let's recap what we've discovered. Today, we unpack the importance of self-care, especially for women navigating midlife. We delved into physical and emotional changes that accompany this phase and explored practical steps to incorporating self-care into our routine. Remember, ladies, self-care isn't about extravagant indulgence or radical life changes. It's about small, consistent actions that nourish our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you to hit subscribe. Join our amazing community here at Create the Best Me. And together, let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and self-care. If you want to learn more about today's topic, head on over to createthebestme.com/EP027, where I have additional information I did not share in today's episode. Don't forget to come back next week because our guest will be the one and only midlife troublemaker, author, and certified self-approval life coach, Elaine Blaze. And she will talk about how women in midlife can begin to put themselves first without feeling guilty. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's a really fun episode and it's exciting. So come back next week. Until then, keep dreaming big, take care of yourself, and remember, you are beautiful, strong, and capable of creating the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye for now.